Hello, friends and neighbors. Welcome to episode 18 of Ray and Benny Talk Sports, our debutante episode, our cotillion episode. We're here located at the former site of Golfland. And of course, producer Grammy got the front door. And as always, we have the man who will forever know the code for bananas.
Yep. It's the only one I can't forget. 4011.
There you go. Yeah. Benny.
I used to be a whiz at all those codes. I couldn't believe I remembered all those things, but they quickly faded fast after those Safeway days.
Yeah, you don't need them. It's like phone numbers nowadays.
Yeah.
Used to have like 20 in there. Now I have I can barely remember mine.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Do you remember Golfland? You got to stop and think for a minute there when you're giving that number out.
Yeah. Do you remember Golfland?
Golfland?
Yeah, it was near the stadium. People used to have like birthdays there, and it was like mini golf. And they had a robot that delivered pizza.
Oh yeah.
That was pretty amazing.
Are you bringing that back or what? Open one up?
You know what? If I hit the lotto, I might open up a Golfland with a robot that delivers pizza. And then it'll turn on us and then take over
the world too. Yeah, perfect.
Any which way. Enough of that. Hello, friends and neighbors. Again, before we get started, don't forget to smash that subscribe button. Follow us on your favorite podcast provider, and check us out on social media on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and I'm missing one. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and
TikTok.
At Ray Benny Sports. And this week's call to action is Andrew Harris the greatest running back in Bomber history? Leave your comments below. Like, subscribe, check us out on social media. We'll be posting that question throughout the week. Is Andrew Harris the greatest running back in Blue Bomber history? And that's a very relevant question today because we're going to start off with some CFL free agency. Don't worry, we'll get into the NHL and the Jets. We'll get into the NFL and, of course, the Super Bowl and the return of Ray and Benny versus a coin. But like I said, an era is over. You can kind of feel it over the city of Winnipeg. Andrew Harris is leaving. A victim of free agency, brother.
Yeah, we were on a good roll, right? You know, back-to-back Grey Cup championships and signing all these guys, bringing back those main guys on the D line, the O line, Zach Claros. But we knew at some point, you know, these guys, someone good or someone that we've admired over the last few years is going to be gone. So, and Andrew Harris is a big one. You know, I don't blame the Bombers for not signing him, and I don't blame Harris for, you know, a lot of people are saying, hey, why didn't you take a little bit less amount to come and stay around kind of thing longer? But can't blame the guy. He wants to go out there and prove he can still play. It was a tough situation for the Bombers. You know, if Andrew Harris was healthy all season last year and put up great numbers, no problem, right? But there's that risk factor of injury coming up again and him missing a bunch of games.
Yeah, and at 34, and the way he's been a workhorse the past few years, he's like his first Grey Cup was in 2011.
Yeah.
And he was, you know, Canadian of the game there. No, I didn't need to hear that. I was going about him being the Canadian of the game. I could have went forward. And Canadian of the game, of course, in 2019, as well as the most outstanding player. He's of legendary status, especially because he's a Winnipeg-born athlete.
Yeah, he came here to do one thing and get us back to the Grey Cup and win that championship, and it worked out for him, and he got it done. You know, and he was big. He was huge, even with the injuries this past season. He was big in that Saskatchewan game in the playoffs. You know, and they needed him, and he's carried this team quite a bit. So we'll see. Someone else has got to step up and pick up the slack there.
Yeah, and all the best to Andrew Harris in Toronto.
For sure.
And as much as he was a downhill running back, he had a couple of years where he was also one of the best receiving running backs in the league.
Yeah,
he was that dual threat. And of course, I want to see him do that again. Unfortunately, like you mentioned earlier this week, we won't get to see him return. CFL schedule makers, what are you doing? Even Andrew Harris, why aren't we playing one team home and away?
That doesn't make any sense. I thought that was just normal home and away, at least. Right?
At least once.
It's always been. I know last year was different because whatever, they played a shortened season, whatever, but how are they not playing Toronto at home?
It's It's
Weird.
nonsensical.
CFL.
We love it. We
Yeah.
love it. We love it. We love it.
We do.
And that's not, Kyle Walters himself said it was a tough negotiation, especially with Andrew Harris being his own agent or representing himself. Because, you get these great relationships, and through success, even stronger relationships. And Kyle Walters, also being Canadian, knows the value of Canadian players. So, sad to see. On your Mount Rushmore of CFL Canadian players, you had Andrew Harris.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. He's right. He's up there, man. He's been good since he came in the league, and I hope he does well in Toronto, unless they play the Bombers kind of thing. But I hope he bounces back. I know he'll have a chip on his shoulder, right? He had a chip on his shoulder when he got to Winnipeg, after BC didn't want to sign him or pay him or whatever it was, so he'll have that chip on his shoulder again.
And moving forward with the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, we have Brady Oliveira and Johnny Augustine in the backfield, and they might bring in someone else. And I know we were talking earlier about what the Bombers should do. I really wanted Augustine back, so I kind of put all my chips on the Augustine bandwagon. So we'll see. It's a good two-headed monster, though.
Yeah, big shoes to fill, though, obviously, right? So
yeah,
and you're gonna need them to, if Harris, has a bounce back season and takes off in Toronto, and these guys struggle here in Winnipeg. Woo,
you're not gonna hear
the end of that. So
for sure.
Hopefully Augustine could pick up where he left off last season when he was starting for Harris when he was injured.
Yeah, and of course they have that great old line in front of them.
Yeah,
we're gonna miss Desjardins, but Jeff Gray, another hometown boy. Maybe it's his time to step up. And of course, Brady Oliveira, a hometown boy, getting his chance to step up. So let's see. And talking about Canadians and filling big shoes, Kenny Lawler, not a Canadian, but he has big shoes to be filled. Bombers bringing in Greg Ellingson from the Elks. And obviously, I don't think he's at the stage in his career, and it was not his skill set to replace Kenny Lawler, but he's a big piece to fill out the receiving corps.
Yeah, he'll be needed to step up this season for sure. But yeah, like you said, he's not going to replace Lawler. And maybe he won't get back to his 1,000-yard seasons that he had a couple seasons ago. But you need him somewhere in the middle there of what he played last season and those couple seasons ago, and just to be able to step up and be a reliable target for Zach Collaros, right? And that, so I think he'll do well. Little bit off season last year with Edmonton. I don't know if it was just not getting it with the QBs there or what, but looking forward to seeing what he can do.
Yeah, it's a great thing about the receiving core, how diverse they are, and they can move the pieces around. Ellingson can play inside or outside, and Wallachowski outside. Those are two big targets.
Yeah,
and of course, we have Rashid Bailey, who could have a breakout year. He has a skill, and Nick Dembski, man, a Canadian in the slot as well. So, unfortunately, Harris is gone, but we still got some talent. We still got some chips on the team. And $300,000 though.
Yeah, that's crazy for a wide receiver, man.
What is happening?
Watch CFL football,
life.
Was Milt the highest one paid before, as wide receiver? I don't even remember any guy sniffing around 300,000 as a wide receiver, unless I'm forgetting someone. But that's crazy. And all the best to him, because man, you gotta take that. You gotta take that and run every day, man.
Oh yeah, I don't blame the guy for that. You just step in the NFL and you get this big money. Of course you're going to take it. Of course you're going to take it.
Exactly.
And I'm glad the Bombers front office isn't going to be chasing wide receiver salaries like that. And it's time for Gauvin and McManus to earn their scouting dollars and bring in some Americans. Just like on the secondary, we lost a couple players starting in free agency. So there's some holes to fill there as well as Brendan Alexander, who might be coming back, but had a huge injury in the Grey Cup.
Yeah, he's going to be out till at least August, they were saying. So, he's a big piece and they need him back for sure, but they'll have to have someone in to see and take over his spot. We've all lost a couple more DBs today in Mike Jones and Alden Darby, sorry. So those two are gone. We did re-sign Nick Taylor, so at least he's back. So they got, the base unit there. Now you just got to find some backups or some depth for that position. Same with, you got to find someone to replace Lawler. I know Bailey's probably that guy, but then you need someone else to replace Bailey and get one more decent receiver in there to help out. But what about Sergio Castillo?
They got to get that foot, man. Like, is he? Have you heard news about Sergio, man?
He might be gone, apparently. Yeah, I haven't heard him sign anywhere, but it's not looking good right now for the Bombers to sign him. And you think, do they really want to go back, run it back with Leggio and Mercado from last year?
That was rough. That was rough.
Yeah. So, and backup QB, Sean McGuire, sounds like he's not going to be back.
Yeah, like outside of football options, maybe. So, yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
There's pieces to fill.
Yeah, even Willie Jefferson on Twitter, he mentioned that I guess I'll start feeling better when we start signing people too. All respect to Willie Jefferson, obviously a Bomber favorite, but it's true. It's true. As a champion, you know that quote: "If you're not getting better, you're getting worse."
Yeah.
So there's no staying the same. So yeah, the Bombers do gotta get some chips, and again, maybe this is where Govea and McManus earn their salary by bringing in some younger, cheaper talent.
Yeah, they're gonna have to for sure.
Yeah.
There's a lot of spots to fill.
Yeah, I was kind of hoping that someone like Ted Laurent would slip through the cracks and maybe find his way to Winnipeg, but that's not going to happen. He's staying in Hamilton.
No, I'm curious to know even really how much money the Bombers have left to spend. They're probably going to be looking for those low end guys that fall through the cracks that are still good, but they're in that middle pay scale, or they're not going to get paid that much, or they're people offer them too little, and then you can find them kind of for the right price or something. So they'll have to definitely do that. You got to go shopping in that bargain bin basement or bin for a bit at Walmart or Kmart. Back to Kmart.
Oh, wow. Kmart, Zellers. But those are the best things that came out of those stores, though. And that's true. They're going to have to look at those NFL workout kind of and college folks that kind of missed the draft and aren't signed as free agents. So, yeah, lots of free agent time left. Ottawa's busy.
Oh, God.
Ottawa's busy. William Powell, they got the running back. Former Bomber, Darvin Adams going. A Canadian, Boateng, also going to Ottawa. They're busy.
And don't forget Mazzoli. Jeremiah Mazzoli there too, right?
That's right. That's right.
The biggest piece of it all.
Yeah, a lot of people are jumping on his bandwagon. I'm not totally sold on him yet, brother. He's always been hot and cold.
Yeah. He's a better option, obviously, than they had last year.
Yes,
100 times over. So, but yeah, he's always been hit and miss. Like he could have a wicked season, and then all of a sudden it just falls apart for him, or good game, bad game. Like even in Hamilton last year, he didn't really put it together much at the beginning of the season. Came on a little bit hot to the playoffs, but then ended up losing his starting job anyways by the time the Grey Cup came. Right. So
yeah, exactly.
So yeah, there's a big question mark there. But Paul Lapalisse cannot complain about having nobody now, because they almost signed a whole team out there today. So now the pressure's on him.
As they should have.
Yeah, they were terrible.
His shelves are pretty bare. So let's move on to the other Winnipeg team. Not the other Winnipeg team. The Winnipeg hockey team, the Winnipeg Jets. Let's talk about their first half of the season, half-ish, because we're at the All-Star break. Things aren't looking good on my end, bro. Well, no, things are looking great on my end. I'm great. My perspective on the Jets is not looking good on my end. Their playoff chances are below 40%. Nothing looks to be. There's no chemistry on this team, bro. There's no leadership on this team. What are your thoughts on the Winnipeg Jets? What they will do, what they can do, what they can't do?
Same thing. It's more of a disappointing season, right? We expected them to be. I think we both predict them in top 3 in the Central, battling in the playoffs, making it further. Did you actually pick them to win the Cup? I can't remember.
Yeah, bro. I put it all on there.
Yeah. So
these Jets clowning me.
So disappointing, man, to say the least. Like you're expecting a lot more out of them, and it hasn't gone right. It hasn't gone their way, and guys aren't having great seasons. You had Paul Maurice quit. Halfway through that first half, or a little bit after that. Dave Lowry hasn't been able to change the team at all. I mean, they're 18-7-7, but really that's 18 wins, pretty much 24 losses, right? Yeah. So they're in the bottom half of the league in goals scored, and that's not normal for this team. They've been usually up there, and I know they usually give up a lot of goals, so they have to be up there, but the scoring is just not there this year.
No,
some guys are snake bit. Even Ehlers.
Primary scoring is not there.
Yeah, Ehlers' scoring was down even this year before he got hurt. A bottom six forward scoring, I mean, is where non-existent.
Non-existent.
Like there just hasn't been anyone stepping up in that stuff. So yeah, and Connor Hellebuyck, he hasn't been his normal strong style. Still having a good season, but you can tell he's not as good as he was last season because the Jets have more losses. He was able to carry and get a few more wins out of that season last year over the last 2 seasons, and so far it's not happening this year.
Yeah, still a top 10 goalie. Still a top 10 goal in the NHL. Not top 5 anymore. Not this year, but still top 10.
Yeah, not this year. Playing wise, yeah.
Yeah. And that defensive core that they put together is so disappointing. And of course, you know, yes, injuries, yes, COVID, like any other team. Now we have Pionk out. Now we have
Dubois
PLD out. Yeah. And Dubois has like been the shining, you know, star this season. Him and of course Kyle Connor. But we got to find a way to keep that guy, bro. They have to keep PLD. They do.
They do. Yeah, they should be working on that extension right now already, or hammering those numbers out. But yeah, he's at the top of the list. If other people go, Cop's free agent after this year, he could be a trade deadline guy, traded away even. But PLD is too important. And Kyle Connor, I mean, what a season that guy's having. Like,
yeah, maybe.
We always thought, Scheifele and Wheeler together with Connor was helping Connor out. You know, is benefiting Connor. He's scoring all these goals. Maybe it was the other way around, and Connor was the one helping the other two out, because without him, they're not the same as Connor is, right?
Yeah.
I mean, the guy's still scoring 25 goals so far this season. He's leading the team in points. So yeah, he's been a pretty good player, and they got him for a pretty good contract too for the next 6 years or something like that. So
yeah,
it's good. But again, like we said, no consistency. You don't know what team you're going to get. Is it going to be soft? Are they going to come out and hit? Are they going to punish the other team? Are they going to go skate, forecheck? We don't know. You know, every game's different, and that's part of the reason why they're being as terrible, really, as they have been so far this first half of the season.
Yeah, and it's not going to get any easier coming out of this break. The 5 games they have are against divisional opponents. They have Minnesota, Dallas, Nashville, Chicago, Minnesota again. And before we hit that record button, I was like, if they lose these next 5, they are for sure out of the playoffs, and they should look to start trading people.
Yeah, it'll be tough to come back if you lose these next 5. I mean, they're already 9 points out, right? And the Central Division ain't easy. You're gonna have to try and steal one of those wild card spots, and one of them is being held by the Central Division team. And how many points is that? That's already 9 points away from that, or whatever it is. So they always say the magic number is 96 points in the NHL. And then you got a pretty good, if you're over that, you're probably in the playoffs.
Yep.
So Jets need 53 points this second half. That's almost winning 27 of the next 40 games kind of thing. You know, you got give or take the OT losses, but that's tough, man.
I'm cheering. I'm like cheering for them, but come on.
The next 5 games, they got 10 games in the last 18 days of February, you know, and they play 40 of their games over the next 81 days, I think. So that's, you're not getting much of a break there. Like, was it really worth it to hold off on fans? You know, just to be able to do this?
Yeah, and like, dumb. Comrie's been playing good. He's been playing good. You know, he looked great against St. Louis, and then he went and looked horrible against Philadelphia. Oh my goodness! But anyways, I don't know. But
Hellebuyck played that game. He played well.
Yeah.
Bad second goal there.
I don't know if Comrie's the backup goalie we need right now to get through this tough schedule, bro. Because Hellebuyck can't play at all.
Yeah.
It was only a couple weeks ago where like this guy looks tired and out of it. So, man,
that's part of the problem, right? They played Hellebuyck every one of those games, knowing this stretch was coming. Yeah. Do you have enough trust in Comrie? Yes, he played good against St. Louis, but you know, like he's hit and miss. Like you're thinking, okay, when he goes in there, it's going to be a rough game. You know, you got to put Hellebuyck in, and I think the Jets think that too. But can you really play Hellebuyck that many times in the next 2 months of the season?
No.
So you're gonna have to trust Comrie, and you're gonna have to hope he can play probably at least 10 of these games.
Do you think the defense plays harder in front of Comrie?
They could.
I'm not like trying to be like a troll, but honestly, they probably, you have like that this guy is not as good as your Vezina winner.
Yeah,
they might put a little more on the line.
Oh, for sure. I'm sure it happens. When you got a guy back there that you're thinking, okay, if I screw up, he's going to probably save it. You play a little bit differently, right? Than a guy that you're thinking, oh shit, if I let this guy go by me, they're going to score, right?
Exactly.
So, yeah, for sure. I'm sure that Hellebuck's the better goalie, so I'm sure they're going to play a little bit looser in front of him and hope he can save their butts.
I'm going to put you on the spot here. A bit of shotgun action. If we're out of it, kind of looks like now. What 3 names on this roster are you willing to part with? Not what you're willing to look for in return, but what 3 names are you willing to part with?
Well, the 2 main guys I'd look at first would be the free agent guys like Kopp and Stastny. You know, those 2 for sure. If you're talking about someone else, yeah, you know what? The only other ones I would probably look at trading maybe Schmidt, Dillon. If you can get something from Morrissey kind of thing.
Those are the only guys I think. Morrissey, bro.
Hey?
I'm not buying Morrissey as a number 1 deal.
Right. So if you can get someone to think that he is there, and you got these younger guys that have looked okay with Heinola, Sandberg, so maybe you can offset losing Morrissey and you get some more pieces in there or draft picks, right?
Yeah.
I would love for someone to take Bulio, but the Jets got to waive him or something. Just do something so he can't get back in that lineup somehow. But
yeah, I remember the same opinion. Of course, there's Kopp and Stastny out there, and who knows? I give Scheifele to the trade deadline. If he's totally out of it, bro, sorry, but that contract, we'll see.
Yeah, I'm not ready to give up on Scheif yet or trade him unless you're getting a crazy haul. Or
you got to get Dubois for sure.
Or you knew for sure that Perfetti could be that second line center guy.
Yo.
Yeah,
okay.
And that's too early for that. So I will say that.
Yeah, that's a lot of responsibility. And of course, bro, I'm gonna. Lowry's not the guy to be the coach. He's got to go.
No.
He's got to go. Sorry. And the names I've thought of that I would like to see. I'd like to see my own personal. I got my boy John Tortorella just as a transition coach, just for fun though. But I would like to see someone like Kirk Muller get a shot. He's always been on the bubble there, and but at the same time, he's old school. Patrick Roy is also old school, but I like his personality. And I don't know, maybe Dan Bylsma.
No, I'm going to say no straight out to that one.
I hope he catches that lightning in a bottle that he did with Pittsburgh when he came in there.
Yeah,
and won those 200 games quick like that.
I'm still hoping Barry Trotz somehow ends up out there and the Jets can snag him or something.
Bro, if he is available, yes. I'm only thinking of coaches that are available right now.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Yeah.
They're thin.
They're having a terrible season in New York there or Rhode Island or wherever they are right now, I think. But
yeah, for sure. Expectations were high for those Islanders.
But a lot of it is part of they weren't in their arena for a while, a bunch of COVID, like they messed up their whole schedule at the beginning. So maybe they might give some leeway to Trotz on that one, but I'm hoping don't.
I jump on that train for sure too, brother. Yeah. I jump on that train. Just a quick note before we move on: the ridiculousness of this Rocky Wirtz in Chicago. Are you serious? Like, is this guy absolutely tone deaf? And again, with this NHL culture, it just every time you think it can't get any worse, it gets worse because Bettman defended this guy and he said, "Oh, it's out of emotion." Man, it's out of bigotry.
Dude, he had a moment.
Oh my gosh.
What is he, a toddler?
Like
he had a moment.
Yeah, exactly. And the funny thing is, like, I can't remember who was on the panel with him. Olczyk was hosting it, I think. Eddie Olczyk.
Was it Eddie? I didn't even notice that.
I think he was hosting it. Yeah. And there's a guy beside him who said, "Oh, I'll explain what we're doing." And he's like, no. Yeah. We're not going to talk about them. Like,
that was his son. That was Rocky Wirtz's son.
See?
Yeah, and it's funny because you see that difference in generation. You see Rocky Wirtz getting mad there. It's like, this is probably how he is at all times, just controlling and wants to get his narrative out or whatever the heck it is.
Yeah.
And the younger guy, the son, is like, you know what? No, I think if we tell him what's going on, it'll make it better, right? And
absolutely.
That's all he had to do. Answer the freaking question. Let us know what you're doing. You could have made yourself look freaking wicked if you just said, "Yeah, we got this going on. We're working on this. We're going to do that." But no, you lost your mind over a question. Like think they're hoping that people swept this under the rug and forgot it.
like the old NHL does.
Like everything they do, like just like Batman, like you're like that answer. Like, are you an idiot, man? He had a
He is an
moment,
idiot, bro, for
like
sure.
like and it's like Gretzky said, though, right? You hear that quote from Gretzky?
No, I didn't.
He said from his, and I liked because he went after the owner there, and he didn't just say, told that company line or NHL line that they always want to do from these commentators. He said, from every point of view, this is just a horrible scenario. What happened to Kyle Beach? As a parent, you're sitting there going, my son's 18. He's maybe going to be drafted by that team. He's talking about Chicago. And then you watch that owner lose his mind like that. And you're thinking, I don't want my kid going there.
Of course
you hear all
not.
this stuff. And it's just terrible, man. And they just want it to go away. And it frustrates them that it hasn't gone away.
Yeah, you see, this is why I have no hope for hockey culture. I'd like to see things change, but when you keep seeing behavior like this and comments like this, it's up. So much for being transparent. So much for that mandate of being transparent and accountable. He's like, oh, we only answer this question if it was an employee, an inside person. Like, really?
I mean, you're a public team. This is public news, dude. Help yourself out. Fix your image a little bit by saying, hey, this is what we got going on. Right. And this goes back for me as well, to Chevy and Chipman, because part of what Chipman said was he was going to use his influence in the NHL to fix things or fix systemic problems. Right. Well, where are you right now, man? This is part of the problem. It's still happening, and no one's seeing any changes coming or happening.
No, it's only optics. It's only optics. Let's have a warm-up jersey night here. Give me a break. Give me a break. There's nothing systemically changing.
No.
And that's absolutely disappointing when you have someone like Bettman running the show. What a clown. What a clown. Let's move on to the NFL Super Bowl week leading up. We got a nice break with the absolutely useless Pro Bowl. I think that's the only time we'll mention the Pro Bowl just now.
Dude, like 7 million people, though, watch that game, so it's not going away.
What a bunch of trash. Let's just leave it at that. But more important things happening in the NFL, of course, some more coach hirings. But we had Brian Flores taking the NFL to court and revealing some, talk about transparency, the practice of the Rooney Rule, using the Rooney Rule, not fulfilling the Rooney Rule. And of course, Stephen Ross, the owner, apparently paying him to lose 100 G's per loss. Oh my goodness. That's like, if that's true, he's got to go.
Yeah. And the funny thing is when they mentioned, or it was mentioned, it was Stephen Ross offering that, it's like a total thought in my mind was, oh yeah, I could see that. That's the type of owner he is. Like,
absolutely.
Hey man, I need you to lose. Tank for whoever quarterback. It's like, what the heck? And we talk about the NHL and their problems. The NFL still got their problems with their coaches hiring. And going back to Flores here, like he's getting a text from Bill Belichick saying, "Hey, congrats on the job." And he's like, "What?
Brian, wrong Brian, not wrong number, wrong Brian."
So, and that was before Flores even interviewed, right?
Yeah.
So it's like they already decided we're going to hire this guy. Yeah. So,
and I'm sure that happens more often than we think.
Oh, for sure. And I'm thinking that's why D'Amico Ryans pulled out of even interviewing maybe for the Vikings, because he assumed they were going to go hire Jim Harbaugh. So he's like, well, why waste my time, right? They didn't end up hiring Harbaugh, but yeah, the NFL is I don't know. They got their issues with this whole situation, and I'd like to see something come out of it. And Brian Flores, the thing is, Brian Flores, he put his neck on the line. He basically ruined probably his chance of ever getting another coaching job in the NFL. But hopefully something good comes out of it and these teams start to learn. But I can't see it happening.
No, this is like an absolute reflection of American culture. I'm not anti-American. No, I love a lot of American things, the country itself. But the fact that systemically people still can't believe, it's just about merit, coaching merit. That's how they're getting the job. You really don't believe some of these billionaire owners don't want a black face for their a black face as a representation of senior management on their team?
Yeah.
Give me a break. Of course that still happens. Of course that still happens.
Yeah.
And that culture has to change.
Yeah. And you would hope it would have by now, right? But to see stuff like this still come out, like it just blows my mind that it hasn't gotten any better. But I guess you know what, with the NFL, it's a lot of older white owners, right? So it's not like much is going to change really until they're possibly out. You know,
For
maybe the next
sure.
round of owners or the kids that take over, maybe kind of thing. But
Yeah, you got
I
like
don't know.
Stephen Ross grew up during civil rights and that. He
Yeah,
was a not to get political. He was a supporter of a American politician during an election and such. So he has that mentality. So give me a
yeah,
break, man. Give me a break.
yeah.
Uh, but let's move on. Let's talk about some hirings before we get to the Super Bowl. The Dolphins took your offensive coordinator, the 49ers offensive coordinator, Mike McDaniel. I think that's a good move. I think that's
Yeah,
a good move.
I'm excited to see what it is. I hear this guy's a bit of a genius and all that kind of stuff. So,
Yeah.
you know, that run game in San Francisco is pretty good. So, you know, if he can bring that over the Dolphins, I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do. And hopefully he has success, you know, out there. And as a Niner coach going over them, those Dolphins better treat him well or else.
Yeah, well, you know that what's that receiver they have? Waddell.
Jalen Waddle? Yeah.
Yeah. Put some muscle on that. Where is he from? Is he from Alabama as well?
Yeah. Yeah.
Put some muscle on that kid. Maybe he's your Debo.
Yeah.
Maybe
He'll
he's
do
a
well in
Debo.
that offense with Mike McDonald. Even before Debo became Debo this year, right? It was short passes off the line that just get him the ball and let him do the work. Same with Ayuk, right?
Yeah.
You know, so if he brings that over to Waddle, he's going to have a pretty good season. Well, he already had a good season. He's going to have an even better season.
Yeah, and it takes a lot of pressure off of Tua. I think this is a really good hiring.
Yeah.
So holler, Doll fan. I hope you're happy with this one because I was hoping to get McDaniel from the start before this Jim Harbaugh nonsense sidetracked them and made
I was
Stephen
hoping
Ross
they would have just
look kind
left
of
him
foolish.
alone, but should have just left him alone in San Francisco. But
well, there was that thing when the Brian Flores thing came out that maybe he might step back.
yeah,
but we'll see.
It's hard to say no at the end of the day to one of these jobs, right? There's only 32 of them out there, and if you feel you're ready, you know, like you're ready and you just want them, you know. So
yeah. And another hiring, a favorite coach of mine from the past, Lovie Smith in Houston. I really like this signing. I remember watching an interview with Brandon Marshall, and he's a locker room guy, and that's what Houston really needs. They need a culture change in Houston. They're a horribly run organization, and I think when you're a coach who can go 13-3 with Rex Grossman and take him to the Super Bowl, you're a pretty darn good coach.
Sexy Rexy, eh?
Long
Bringing
overdue. Oh, yeah. Remember, never forget Rex Grossman. Yeah, I think it's a great hiring.
And I hope they give him an opportunity and not just be like what they did to was it David Culley this past season, where they knew basically that they were going to fire him no matter what happened this season, right?
Yeah.
So hopefully they give Lovie Smith an opportunity. That Houston D was actually pretty good last year. You know, it was pretty strong and tough. So yeah, give him the opportunity. I'd like to see what he can do, and hopefully he has a quarterback this time.
Yeah. At least they paid Culley. At least they paid him out, gave him his money.
Yeah.
That's a good thing. But yeah, I didn't even recognize Lovie Smith with that white beard. He's like
looks
a
like
Jedi.
Santa Claus beard going on there.
Yeah, that's crazy. So maybe he got some wisdom coming with that as well.
That too, the wisdom beard.
Yeah, man. The Vikings also picked up the Rams offense coordinator, Kevin O'Connell, former Patriot quarterback. So he has a bit of a bloodline there with Bill Belichick, 6 career passing attempts. So he really wasn't on the field much. I don't know what to think about this hiring. Like, Rams have a good offense, I guess. Yeah. What does that mean for Dalvin Cook? I don't know.
Yeah, well, it'd probably be a good thing. Like if he's coming out of the McVay, Shanahan kind of level of coaching or whatever, then the running game is huge for them, right? And that's what starts things off kind of on all their offenses, and they can run a lot more if they got that running game going. So I think Dalvin Cook will probably have a good season. And Kirk Cousins, I don't know if McConnell's kind of like Shanahan. Shanahan actually wanted Cousins a few seasons ago before Jimmy got traded there, right? Yeah. So maybe O'Connell is actually excited to have Cousins because he knows where to go, right? If Jimmy G can have success in this kind of offense, absolutely, and Goff even, then Cousins should be able to have more success, I think, probably than both of those guys in this type of offense if he can get it. And he actually did pretty well in Shanahan's office when they were both together in Washington. So we'll see.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what Justin Jefferson is like in this offense.
Yeah,
if Connor Kupp can go nuts and have an MVP season, I think Justin Jefferson's far more talented.
That's true.
So, that could be a good hire. Thinking about it, Thanks for talking me through that, Bernard. I appreciate that.
You're
That's
welcome.
great.
That's what I'm here for.
The Saints, we got Dennis Allen staying within their system. He's a defensive coordinator for them for the past 7 years. I think that's a great move. We talked about the Peyton leaving and them hopefully keeping that culture. This is the great way to keep that culture.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know much about Allen. I know he coached the Raiders before. But the Saints have had a pretty good defense the last few seasons. So, yeah, I'm good with this hiring. We'll see what he can do there. His time with the Raiders was terrible, but, it's many years ago, and now he got to sit and learn from Sean Payton. So, that rubbed off on him a bit. He's got to find a quarterback, though.
He got Jameis Winston. He does have whatchamacallit. He does have a very old defense, and they're up against the cap there. So there are some concerns there. Jameis Winston isn't bad. Jameis Winston on pace for 3,000 yards, 30 touchdowns, 10 interceptions last year. They're 5-2 with him under center. His QBR was 64. So that's around Mahomes, Allen, and Stafford territory. I told you I'd bring some stats this week. I know. So I'm just going to drop that right there. there. So he's okay. He's okay. I snuck that one in. I'm sneaky, bro. Small sample size, only 7 games.
I almost left the conversation there.
He didn't play the 7th game. He got out early. So it's a very small sample. So who knows? Especially with Sean Payton gone. That could be out the window.
Depends what happens to Alvin Kamara there, too.
Oh, what is wrong with this dude? This is not even on the schedule, but let's talk about it. Alvin Kamara.
Just popped into my head there.
In Las Vegas, him and somebody's beat this guy down.
At the Pro Bowl.
Broke his orbital bone. Yeah. This Vegas, putting a team in Vegas, man, number one, bad idea. Because this stuff is going to happen. And then putting the Pro Bowl in
that's a few
Vegas.
things. Couple of Raiders guys already this year, then this.
Yeah. It's not a good town for these young men with a lot of testosterone and a lot of money. But what are they going to do? They have to suspend this guy.
Yeah. I mean, there's got to be video of this, right? There is video. Yeah. So there's no getting around it. He's going to have to get suspended for 2 to 4 games for sure, you would think. I mean, and it all depends if he ends up getting charges pressed against him or what happens there. So, yeah,
I think for something like assault, it's minimum 6, and then they can have a hearing for above or below. But
wow,
dang, if you beat someone unconscious and break their orbital bone and stomp this guy down, you gotta sit down. Yeah. You gotta sit down.
Even if he gets kept by the Saints, some other team will sign him in no time anyways.
Oh, gosh.
It never ends.
Let's move on to this last hiring here. Doug Peterson. This is a meh hiring for me, bro. That's all I got to say, man.
Kind of the same. His last season in Philadelphia, there was nothing exciting at all.
No.
And it seemed like he didn't really want to go to the young guy, and he's kind of screwing Wentz around even in that final season. So we'll see what he can do with Lawrence, but yeah, I'm same. I'm on the
such a con movement, such a con move.
Well, no one wanted to work with Trent Baalke, man.
That's right.
He's terrible.
His reputation is trash. When all these guys are like, no. Byron Leftwich, he's like, nah. Come on.
Yeah, we talk about Mike McDaniel's. It's one of 32 jobs. You got to take it. And Leftwich is like, not with that guy. I'm
doing with Tampa Bay. Yeah. I'll take my chances with no quarterback in Tampa Bay.
Yeah. Maybe Bruce Arians will retire and Leftwich can take over there. But
that would be smooth. That would be smooth. Good call there, bro.
And maybe that's the thing. Maybe Arians said, hey, man, I got one more season left in me, and then you take over kind of thing, right?
Yeah, succession plan there. That'd be great.
Yeah. I know Tampa Bay's always still pissed off that Mike Tomlin left because they wanted to hire him as well as their coach, but he got hired by Pittsburgh. And then, look what's happened there, right?
We'll see what's going on in Pittsburgh. We'll talk about them in the offseason.
Jimmy G's available.
We'll talk about them in the offseason. Let's talk about the Washington Commanders, the new name. Briefly, I think it's not a very good name.
Yeah, I'm okay. Don't hate it. Don't love it. It is what it is. But to me, as long as Dan Snyder's still there, no matter what they ended up changing that name to, is going to be terrible. Get rid of him, and then maybe that Commander's name will look better.
It's like, the thing is, I can't remember who said this earlier this week, but, everywhere they shorten the name. 49ers, Niners, Dolphins, Fins, Blue Bombers, Bombers, Blue. What are you going to call these Washington teams? The Manders or the Commies? What are you going to do? I'm like, that's true. That's true.
Gotta go Manders. Go Manders, go.
Enough with Washington and Daniel Snyder. Let's talk about the Super Bowl. Cincinnati. Rams. Cincinnati, the home team. Rams, the away team in their own stadium. Who are you taking? How do you see this game shaken down, Brother Benny?
I'm still bitter from a week and a half ago. Rams beating the Niners. Rams being in the same Niner division always kind of messes me with them picking. So this might be more heart than brain, but I'm going to go with the Bengals to win this game. Close game. It'll end up being a close game. These two teams, they got two high-powered offenses, but they also got two defenses that both can step up, as we saw with Cincinnati against Patrick Mahomes, right? They shut him down afterwards. Rams D with Aaron Donald up front. If that Bengals O-line cannot block for Joe Burrow, then I see the Rams kind of running away with this game. It'll be tough for Burrow to survive out there.
Aaron Donald,
Leonard Floyd, Von Miller,
Von Miller's heating up in the playoffs. Yeah.
He's been turning it up. So,
and those old guys got a week to rest.
Yeah, like you said before, they got time to rest, and that'll help them and get them going a bit, right? Even Stafford, right? Not bad for him to rest too. He's an older guy, taking a lot of hits over the years, so this will help him. I'd like to see Stafford win it, but at the same time, I can't. I wouldn't mind if Stafford won it in a way, but I don't want to see the Rams win it at all. So, Jamar Chase and Ramsey should be a good matchup.
That should be a good matchup. I'm assuming that Ramsey's going to try to maul this guy on the line.
Yeah.
Just not let him off the line, because if you let Jamar Chase run routes on you, it's going to hurt.
Oh, yeah.
He's going to break some ankles, man.
Yeah, it'll be a good show.
Yeah.
The Cincinnati, can they slow down? They're not going to stop Cooper Kupp. Not the season that this guy is having, but they need to slow him down. Not let him go crazy like he's done in the last few games of the season and into the playoffs here. And then can Odell Beckham pick up the slack if Kupp's having a rougher game or whatever. We'll see. But yeah, I probably think like 2017, maybe it'll be even a boring 13-10. Who knows?
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to go with the Rams on this one. Like I said, I think the bye week is in their favor. They've been through this before. And I like their defense. I like their defense and the pressure that they'll probably get on Burrow. I don't think it'll be as easy as they had a time with the Chiefs. So I'm going to take the Rams in to take the Super Bowl at home, but they are the away team.
Yes. Have you seen the prices for those tickets?
What a joke.
Oh my God.
What a joke. How do you expect fans to go to this game?
I thought Super Bowl tickets were already bad in past years. Never mind seeing them this year. Holy.
$6,000 in the 500 level? Even more? Like, who can afford to go to that?
That's crazy.
No, I would not pay that much to go to Super Bowl. Sorry. Not worth it. Not worth it. Let's bring in the coin for Ray and Benny versus the coin. So I got the Rams. You got the Rams.
No, I got the Bengals, man.
Oh, that's right. See, look, I was paying attention.
Thanks for listening.
I listen all the time, brother. I listen all the time. Coin, give us a flip. Who do you got? Ooh, the away team, the Rams. The coin is going with Brother Ray.
So Ray and the coin with the Rams, eh?
Yeah. Leave your Super Bowl winner in the comments. Again, don't forget to smash that subscribe button or the follow button on your podcast provider. And leave your comment. Who do you think is going to win the Super Bowl? The Chiefs? Oh, the Chiefs. The Bengals.
Wrong one.
We're getting there. We're almost getting there, folks. We're almost here at the end. The Bengals or the Rams. Put in your comments the Bengals or the Rams, or you can put the Chiefs if you want. You'll be wrong, but go ahead. Put the Chiefs.
Try it out.
No judgment here. Let's move on to my favorite segment, Benny's Brickhead of the Week. I've been waiting for this one, brother. Who do you got as your Brickhead?
It should be pretty obvious at this point, right? We talked about him earlier today, and it's got to go to Rocky Wirtz, man. I mean, who else do you give it to with that outburst that he had as a grown man on stage, owner of a hockey team, and that's how you snap on someone asking you questions. So Rocky Wirtz, you're my Brickhead of the week, man. You fully deserve it.
What a clown show that guy is. Let's go to Friends and Neighbors' favorite segment, Eat That Hot Dog. I got some Olympic action, and we'll talk more Olympics next week, so don't forget to join us. I'm going to take snowboarder Mac Perot, who won the gold in the men's slope style, and also with another Team Canada member, Mark McMorris, who got the bronze. So, you know what? Props to them.
Right on.
They even do the Lucky Looney there, man. They put the Lucky Looney on the course, I guess, or not the course, the
Snow Hill?
No, but there's a specific, but not the path, the course.
Slalom?
Man, we'll see. Yeah, we'll be talking Winter Olympics next week. We got to educate ourselves. But, and yeah, they put a loony in there.
Really?
Yeah.
That's pretty
Imagine someone tripped on the loony. That'd be not
record
funny.
pace, world or Olympic record pace, and you tripped up by a loony.
Who are you giving a hot dog to, brother? I just give away 2 hot dogs.
I'm going to give it to Carrie Einarson, who ended up winning the Scotty Championships, Women's Scotty Champions over the weekend here. And that's her 3rd time as a Scotty's champion. So my hot dog goes out to her and her team.
Excellent. And a special shout out going to Mike going out. My goodness. Special shout out going to Michael Monchka, former teacher of mine at West Gildon Collegiate. Thanks for tuning in to Ray and Benny Talk Sports. He's known us since the 90s, bro. The mid-90s. Ooh, you aged yourself there.
It's a few years ago.
Yeah.
Right?
So shout out. Thanks for your support. Really appreciate it. Benny, do you got anything to say to the people?
Yeah, I just want to give a quick shout out. Men's soccer team, Canada men's soccer team, 3 for 3 in that last window, collecting all 9 points, 2 points away, I believe, from a World Cup qualifying. So shout out to them with another great performance in their win against El Salvador. Other than that, enjoy the Super Bowl and have a good week.
And in the famous words of Wayne Gretzky, we had a Wayne Gretzky quote earlier today.
Yeah, we did.
That's 2 for the great one. And we didn't coordinate this, people.
No.
We're on the same wavelength. In the famous words of Wayne Gretzky, you miss 100% of the shots that you don't take. Be kind, be safe, help each other out. Hey, friends and neighbors, don't forget to check us out online on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter at Ray Benny Sports. And don't forget to check out our YouTube channel. Leave a like, leave a comment, tell us what you think.